Pope Francis has passed away, and the world is mourning the loss of a leader who inspired many. As the first pope from the Americas, he was known for his humble style and his focus on helping the poor, caring for the environment, and speaking out for justice. His time as pope brought many changes to the Catholic Church, and his death marks the end of an important chapter in its long history. Now, the Church must choose a new pope. In the coming days, Catholic leaders from around the world will meet in Rome to take part in a special vote called the Papal Conclave. This is a tradition that goes back many centuries. The choice they make will shape the future of the Church, which has over 1 billion members worldwide. People are already wondering who the next pope might be. Will the Church pick someone who will continue the work of Pope Francis? Or will it choose a different path? Some believe the next pope could come from Africa or Asia, where the number of Catholics is growing fast. Today, let's talk about the cardinals that are most likely to be elected as the next pope. Cardinal Pierbattista Pizzabala. Cardinal Pierbattista Pizzabala is one of the younger possible candidates for pope, but his unique background makes him stand out. After being ordained in Italy at age 25, he moved to Jerusalem and has lived there ever since. His deep knowledge of the Holy Land, its people, and its conflicts gives him a special place in the Church. Pope Francis appointed him as the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem 5 years ago, and later made him a cardinal. Pizzabala has called Jerusalem the heart of the life of this world, showing how much he values the city and its spiritual meaning. Other cardinals may admire his strong understanding of the tensions between Israelis and Palestinians, especially with the ongoing war in Gaza. His experience in this challenging region shows his commitment to peace and dialogue. However, his young age for a papal candidate at just 60 and his short time as a cardinal could work against him. Also, because he is seen as close to Pope Francis, cardinals who want a different direction for the Church might not support him. Cardinal Peter Turkson. Cardinal Peter Turkson is one of Africa's most respected church leaders, and some believe he could become the first African pope in over 1,500 years. He was the first Ghanaian to be made a cardinal, back in 2003 by Pope John Paul II, and has been a major figure in the Church ever since. Like other possible candidates, Turkson says he doesn't want to be pope. In 2013, he told the BBC, "I'm not sure whether anyone does aspire to become a pope." He also said that the pope shouldn't be chosen just because of where they are from, even though Africa's Catholic population is growing quickly. Cardinal Turkson is known for his energy and his personal warmth. He once played guitar in a funk band and brings a lively presence to his work. In 2013, when Pope Francis was elected, Turkson was one of the favorites, and many thought he might win. He is seen as conservative on many issues, like most African cardinals. However, he has spoken out against laws that punish LGBTQ+ people. In 2023, while Ghana's government was looking at strict anti-gay laws, Turkson said that being gay should not be treated as a crime. Still, he has faced some criticism in the past. In 2012, he warned about the spread of Islam in Europe in a way that many found troubling, and he later apologized for those comments. Cardinal Turkson's long experience, strong faith, and global outlook make him an important figure in the Church, and someone to watch closely as the cardinals choose the next pope. Cardinal Angelo Scola. Cardinal Angelo Scola is too old to vote in the next conclave, as only cardinals under 80 can take part. But he can still be elected pope, as there is no age limit for becoming one. Scola was once a top contender. Back in 2013, when Pope Francis was chosen, many believed Scola would win. But he became an example of an old saying, "He who enters the conclave as pope leaves as a cardinal." Now, his name is being talked about again because he is publishing a new book about old age. The book has drawn attention because Pope Francis wrote the introduction shortly before his recent hospital stay. In it, Francis wrote that death is not the end of everything, but the beginning of something. These words show the close bond between the two men. Even though Scola is respected and admired, some believe his focus on aging might not match what the Church needs in a new pope. At 83, his age could also be a concern for many cardinals who may prefer someone younger to lead the Church into the future. Cardinal Robert Sarah. Cardinal Robert Sarah is a well-known figure among conservatives in the Catholic Church. He is respected for his strong support of Church teachings and traditional ways of worship. Often seen as a voice against some of Pope Francis's reforms, Sarah has been a key figure for those who want to keep the Church more traditional. At just 34, he became the youngest archbishop in the world when Pope John Paul II appointed him to lead the Church in Conakry, Guinea. Sarah has had a long and notable career in the Church. Until 2021, he led the Vatican's office in charge of liturgical rites, which deals with how Mass and other religious ceremonies are celebrated. While he is not considered a top favorite to become the next pope, he could gain strong support from cardinals who want to move away from recent reforms and return to more traditional values. Cardinal Pietro Erdo. Cardinal Pietro Erdo is a respected figure in the European Church and is seen by some as a possible compromise candidate for pope. He has been a cardinal since he was just 51 years old and served as the head of the Council of European Bishops' Conferences for 10 years, from 2006 to 2016. This gave him strong ties across Europe, as well as with African cardinals. Erdo is the Archbishop of Budapest and grew up in a Catholic family during the time of communism in Hungary. His experience under a harsh political system shaped his views and leadership style. He is also known for his work on building better relations with the Orthodox Church, which is important in Eastern Europe. He played key roles during Pope Francis's visits to Hungary in 2021 and 2023, and he was part of the groups of cardinals that chose both Pope Benedict and Pope Francis. These experiences give him deep knowledge of how the Church works at the highest levels. Cardinal Erdo is conservative, especially on family issues, which appeals to more traditional parts of the Church. He has also had to deal with the political situation in Hungary, led by Prime Minister Viktor Orban. During Europe's migrant crisis in 2015, he made headlines by saying that the Church would not house migrants, arguing that doing so could encourage human trafficking. With his strong European ties, deep experience, and conservative views, Erdo is seen as a serious contender, especially if the cardinals are looking for someone to unite different sides of the Church. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. Could the next pope come from Asia? Many people think Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle could be the one. He is a well-known church leader from the Philippines, where about 80% of people are Catholic. He has spent most of his life working closely with local communities, rather than in the Vatican or in church courts. This gives him strong experience as a pastor, someone who leads by caring for people. Cardinal Tagle is seen as a moderate, and some call him the Asian Francis because he shares Pope Francis's concern for the poor, migrants, and social issues. He is known for being warm, humble, and close to ordinary people. He is also known for standing by key church teachings. He is against abortion, calling it a form of murder, and he does not support euthanasia. However, he has shown openness in other areas. In 2015, while serving as Archbishop of Manila, he said the Church needed to be more gentle in how it treated gay people, divorced people, and single mothers. He believed the Church's harsh words had hurt many, and he called for more compassion and respect. Tagle has long been seen as a possible future pope. Even back in 2013, when Pope Francis was chosen, his name came up as a strong candidate. With a growing number of Catholics in Asia, some wonder if now is the time for the first Asian pope. Cardinal Reinhard Marx. Cardinal Reinhard Marx is Germany's top Catholic leader and has long been close to the Vatican. As Archbishop of Munich and Freising, he has played an important role in church life, both in Germany and worldwide. When Pope Francis became pope in 2013, he chose Cardinal Marx as one of his key advisors. For 10 years, Marx helped guide church reforms and still plays a part in managing the Vatican's financial changes. Cardinal Marx is known for his more open views on social issues. He has called for the Church to be more welcoming to homosexual and transgender people, which has sparked debate among more traditional Catholics. However, his career has not been without problems. 2 years ago, he also stepped down from the Council of Cardinals, a group of top advisors to the Pope. Many in Germany saw this as a sign that his influence in the Church was weakening. Even so, Marx remains a well-known figure, especially among those who want the Church to continue the reforms started by Pope Francis. Cardinal Robert Prevost. Could the next pope be an American for the first time? Some believe Cardinal Robert Prevost from Chicago has what it takes. He has strong experience both in the Vatican and in missionary work abroad. In 2023, Pope Francis chose Prevost to lead the Vatican's office that helps pick new bishops, a key role in shaping the Church's future leadership. He replaced Cardinal Mark Ule in this important job, showing the trust Francis placed in him. Before his time in the Vatican, Prevost spent many years as a missionary in Peru. He later became an archbishop there, gaining deep experience with the Church in Latin America. Because of this, he is seen not just as an American, but also as someone with close ties to Latin America. He even led the Pontifical Commission for Latin America, a group focused on church matters in that region. Prevost is seen as a reformer, in line with many of Pope Francis's goals. At 69, some might see him as a bit young to take on the role of pope, though others might see that as an advantage, offering more years of steady leadership. However, his time as archbishop in Peru was troubled by claims that abuse cases were not handled properly. These accusations were denied by his diocese, but they could affect how some view his chances. Cardinal Michael Churnney. Cardinal Michael Churnney is a Jesuit, like Pope Francis, and is known for his strong commitment to social justice, charity, and missionary work. Born in the former Czechoslovakia, his family moved to Canada when he was just 2 years old. His life and work have taken him across the world, especially in Latin America and Africa. In Africa, Churnney helped found the African Jesuit AIDS Network and taught in Kenya, showing his dedication to helping the poor and sick. He is now head of the Vatican's Office for Promoting Human Integral Development, which focuses on issues like poverty, migration, and care for the environment. Churnney is well liked by progressives in the Church and was seen as close to Pope Francis, who made him a cardinal. His focus on human rights and global development has earned him respect, but also made him a symbol of the reformist direction the Church has taken under Francis. Even though he is a strong candidate, it is unlikely that the Cardinals would pick another Jesuit pope right after Francis. The Church has never had 2 Jesuits in a row, and many might look for someone from a different background. Cardinal Mark Ule. Cardinal Mark Ule has been considered a possible pope more than once, first in 2005 and again in 2013. He has had a big role in shaping the Church's leadership. For many years, he led the Vatican's office that helps choose bishops around the world, meaning he has helped decide who leads many Catholic communities. Now, at age 80, he cannot vote in the next conclave, which might make it harder for him to be chosen as pope. Still, his name continues to come up because of his long experience and deep connections in the Church. Ouellet is seen as a conservative, but one with a modern approach in some areas. He strongly supports the rule that priests must remain celibate and is against the idea of women becoming priests. However, he has also said that women should have a bigger role in helping to run the church. He once said, "Christ is male, the church is feminine," showing his belief in a special role for women, even if not as priests. Even though his age may be a barrier, his influence and long service keep him in the minds of many as a possible choice for Pope. Cardinal Pietro Parolin is one of the top names being talked about as a possible next Pope. He has been the Vatican's Secretary of State under Pope Francis, which made him the Pope's main advisor and one of the most powerful figures in the Church. He also leads the Roman Curia, the central office that runs much of the Church's work around the world. Because of his close role with Pope Francis, some people see him as a strong candidate. He knows how the Vatican works and has a lot of experience in global diplomacy. Supporters say he would bring a wide international view to the job, but others worry that he might focus too much on politics and not enough on church teachings. Parolin is known to have spoken out against same-sex marriage. In 2015, when Ireland voted to allow it, he called the result a defeat for humanity. Even though he is well known and has many backers, there is an old saying in Italy: "He who enters a conclave as a pope leaves it as a cardinal." That means favorites don't always win. And while most popes in history have been Italian, the Church may now choose someone from outside Europe to reflect its changing face.